till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Back for another installment. Back for another installment. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is Monday, the 14th of October. Quite deep into New York session. I don't know if you can say what's the time in New York now. Let me check that out quickly. -4. It's 10 o'clock in New York, man. 10:30 in New York. But we are cracking in the New York session. I did not take any trades in London. I had other work to do and things to sort out there, so I didn't take any trades in London. I did look at the market this morning. I did do a little bit of analysis. The market it was fairly messy for me this morning, just in terms of determining direction and the trades that I'll want to take between today and Friday. I generally don't like trading on a Monday. Mondays have proven to not be really great days for me. However, I must say that last week was it was one of two things. It was an aha week for my trading, or it was a unicorn kind of week for my trading. And I really think that this week is going to be the test to see if I've evolved in my trading, if I've truly become the profitable trader that I envisage that I plan on becoming in the future. So this is going to be a critical week for me to see, in terms of my analysis, in terms of what I'm doing. It's not just a fluke. It is actually based on the things that I've learned. It's based on market structure. It's based on things that actually move the market. So I'm excited for this week to see what's going to happen, to see where we're going with this trading, to see where we're going with this channel. Let me just take a sip of water out of this monster. I think it's not, pink is not my favorite color, it's my wife's. But this bottle keeps me accountable to make sure that I'm drinking my 2 liters a day. So yeah, just to ensure that I'm doing the right things, to make sure that I'm on the right track, that this journey that I'm on of trading is just hold on, the focus is struggling. That this journey of trading that I'm on is going to be profitable, and it's going to be something that I want to spend a lot more time doing, because there is a key for me in this, something to unlock it's going to unlock certain things in my future. So I'm excited. I'm just going to check that I have my charts and things set up before I switch this screen. Let me just make sure I can see it's obviously not on the right thing now at the moment. I can see that it's not picking up the right stuff, but let me get into that just quickly. It always seems like my settings seem to change for some reason. Let's see. Should be coming up now. Okay, I am ready to switch over. So from my trades over here, you can see that I'm currently in a trade already. I'm in a EU trader. EU. So I'm in an EU trade, Euro USD for 27 pips, call it 28 because it's 27.9. Basically, in terms of my analysis, and like I said at the beginning, I'm still not 100% sure. Like, the market seems very choppy for me at this point in time. It's Monday. I'm not looking to rush into any trades specifically, but going on to the weekly, the levels in terms of my pivot levels that I use didn't really change too much this week. I'm not sure if that is correct. I might just have to take my pivots or remove the indicator and put it back on just to make sure. But the levels were like a point a piece out on each of the levels that I marked out. So we're still sitting. We actually came back to the S2 level, and you will note from Friday's video that I was in an EU trade. I said that I would close out before the day ended. I did that exactly. I closed it out before market close. I was a bit in profit, probably about 0.5% or something in profit, but decided to close the trade. If I had held it up until today, I would have probably hit the take profit sometime during this afternoon, I think just after New York Open. However, analyzed, realized that the levels didn't change all that much. So by weekly, I was still bearish. On my daily, I was obviously still bearish. You can see there's a lot of sellers in the market over there. On the 4 hour, this is where it got a little bit tricky for me because I was still a little bit neutral in terms of where we were sitting in the market, just because of this consolidation that we experienced over the last couple of days as well. So still a little bit neutral on this. We didn't break through this S2, and we weren't convincing in the tap of this S2 for the market to reverse and go back up. So I'm neutral, but given that this is a higher time frame, I'm still going to look for opportunities on the lower time frames as well. Going to the 1 hour, a little bit more direction that you are getting on this time frame. So you'll see that impulse move to the downside, breaking those. Let me just denote this so everyone can actually see. So breaking those lows over there, going down, and then creating that lower low over there, but not just keeping in mind that it's not lower than this as yet, and then retracing a little bit, and then ultimately pushing to the downside again. So I am currently in this trade. I took it at 9258, 09258, and then just took it for, obviously I wanted to cover the fact that there were two supply levels on the 15-minute here. So there's a supply level over there, and then the supply level over here before the push. So you'll see the indicator for me that the market would continue to the downside was this push over here. And so I thought that I'd draw out the supply and the imbalance over there, but also keeping in mind that there's one over here and that there's one over here as well. I'll usually use, I know a lot of people use the most extreme point. I was just using what was closest to the market, given that I wasn't sure how much volume would come in any case. So mark that out. Also taking into account that the market had previously tapped into that supply, so probability that it would come there today wasn't that high for me. So just marked out the new levels and then waited for that entry point over there. I actually didn't put a pending order in. I took a market execution on this one, so I entered a little bit lower than what I would have wanted, but it was still very close to I think it was still retracing at the point that I entered. So I got a fairly good entry on this one at the moment. Currently we are sitting at a level of 16 pips at the moment. So I'm already 1-to-1, just over 1-to-1 at the moment. But like I said, waiting to take my full 27, 28 pips on this pair. Let me just take a screenshot of my trading view here. So not my trading view, I want to take a screenshot of my MetaTrader so you guys can have a look and see what I'm talking about here. You know what the other thing is, I just realized. Okay, I did put the audio down, the audio of the track down. Oh, I almost thought I left it on. So let's just paste that there. Let me stretch it out so everyone can see. You'll see my entry. Don't know why I feel so tongue-tied today. Entry is over there, almost at the top of that wick. And like I said, it was still retracing at the time. I took the entry, but I had tapped into my supply and imbalance zone over there, and then ultimately pushed. So I was in drawdown probably for a few minutes, maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and then ultimately went to the downside on that trade. Next trade that I took gold. So I am currently in a buy on gold, as you would know from last week. In terms of my pivot points, hasn't really changed too much. The only reason that I said I'm neutral on this pair is because for the last 3 weeks we've really just been in indecision over here. So all of these dojis that printed over here, market isn't really particularly sure of what it wants to do, so that's why I'm still neutral on this pair. However, in terms of bias, my bias is still very bullish on this pair as well. As you can see, last week a lot of wicks in these areas, last week a lot of wicks in these areas as well. Had a little bit of a push to the downside, but then last week in particular, and Friday and Thursday and Friday, we had these two bullish days over here, so giving me indication that the market, there's still a lot of buyers at this level over here, with the potential for us to head to this R1 level over there on the 4 hour. Again, more of the same. If we look at it, very, very bullish in terms of momentum. As you can see at the moment, the market is leaving this big wick on this 4 hour candle, going down to the 1 hour. A little bit choppy in the 1 hour, looks very whipsaw-ish over there. You can see this volume imbalance over there. This is just obviously at the open, so that's what caused that volume imbalance, but it was quickly filled. But there again, momentum is very bearish, and then it slowly trickles down and comes back down to the low. So I basically caught it at this imbalance that I marked over there on the 15 minute. Let's just go down to the 15 minute. You'll see I drew this at 1:45, and that is South African time. So at 4 o'clock this morning, market started to impulse to the upside, and then slowly from close to London open went to retrace all the way. And then when I actually looked at this market, or I looked at this pair, or looked at gold, I noticed that we were very close to where I marked out my demand zone and my imbalance, and I had the idea that we were going to come down all the way and then possibly look for a move to the upside. Now look at how interesting this is at the moment. So I basically analyzed it from that point. Just get this, analyzed it from this candle over here. Said that we would have a potential to come down. Market came down. Now let me zoom in so you can get the full picture, the full effect of my pain sometimes when trading. And this is going to happen to you. This is going to happen to all traders. When you are wanting to trade, when you're wanting to get into this game and you're learning a strategy, there's certain times where you are going to place pending orders, for example. You're going to set your levels and you're going to wait for the market, and you're going to be disciplined, and the market is going to come within a freaking pip or pipette. It's going to come within a hair, a whisker, and then it will move away from your position completely. Now let me just mark that out. You'll see it's not even a pip. It's not even a freaking pip that we missed my zone by, and then the market shot up. Now look at this in terms of where this take profit is set. Now, this was set up even before the market retraced, but I set it there. The market came down, missed me by a pip, and then continued to the take profit. And the biggest thing for me, the biggest discipline that I had to learn, was being disciplined and being patient in my trading. A lot of the time I'd see something like this and I'd want to take the buy, a very impulsive buy, but something that I've had to teach myself, something that I've had to learn, is not to be impulsive in the market. That the market will always come, if you're doing your analysis correctly, the market will always come back. There will always be an opportunity to trade. And I think the mentality and the mindset that I had in the past is that, I analyzed this so perfectly, or I analyzed this to a point where the market's just not going to come back and it's going to run without me. And that is a lie from the enemy. It's a lie from the devil. But it's a lie. The market will come back at some point. It's not to say that it's necessarily still favored to go in your position, or go in your direction, but ultimately the market will always come back and it will always hit your zones. What it does hit your zones is another story, because it depends on how you're analyzing the market. However, I was disciplined enough and patient enough to say that if the market didn't tap me in, maybe it wasn't my time to catch the trade. So let me just wait it out. If the market retraces, I'll leave my pending order in, and it can tap me in if it does eventually come to that level. What the market then did, went all the way and then started to retrace at 345. So that's just obviously as New York was busy opening properly. Came all the way down and then tapped me in on this, I think it's the 415 candle, tapped me in, and now we're running in a little bit of profits. We'll obviously see what happens with this pair. Obviously, I'll let you guys know that last week gold has been very, very good to me. This is a 120 pip trade with a 600 pip stop on it. So I'm really hoping for the best with gold this week, hoping that my bias is correct, hoping that the effort and the work that I'm putting in is going to pay off in the long run, because I'm in this for the long game. So I'm in on a trade on gold. Anything else, I don't really have trades on GJ at the moment. I don't have trades on GU. I did take a loss however on GU, so that was before I put in I took a loss on GU. This loss was before I took the trade on euro dollar. So you will note that I marked out this zone over here, quite a big demand zone. But again, the play on this was, even in terms of my bias, which in terms of what I'm looking at, I'm more bearish than what I am bullish. So this was going to be a counter trade for me, and like I said last week, my counter trades are generally 1-to-1. So I did have a 1-to-1. It was very small, 8.2 pips and 8.2 pips on the TP. However, market came down, retraced a little bit, gave me that little bit of hope, and then ultimately smashed my dreams over there. So tapped into the level. I think that I marked this level out. So I had a previous level marked out from where I took my trade, but I marked this level out after the fact. So the market basically tapped into it. I'm still bearish on the space, so I won't necessarily look on taking any further buys. What I could ultimately at this point be missing is a sell. So let me just look at the market quickly to see if we've tapped into any areas. What I would potentially want to actually see is the market come into this supply zone over here. I'll just select the rectangle tool. So come to this supply zone over here before I would be interested in looking at any sells. Why this is HP for me, high probability, if you guys are wondering what HP is. So why this is high probability for me is because we've got that imbalance there as well. So the market needs to balance itself out. You'll note that the market at one point almost got to that level, but it didn't tap into this imbalance over here. So let me just refine this a little bit. What I used to have magnetic points on my charts because I wanted to be like 100% accurate, but I did find that it's not necessary. It's not necessary. As long as you can have a zone in terms of where you're looking at, you don't have to be 100% at the high or 100% at the low in order to get your trades. If you really want to refine being a sniper and taking sniper entries, then by all means turn your magnetic tool on and snap to all of your things, but I'm doing what works for me. So looking at that supply zone over there, I'm going to set an alert. As soon as the market does tap through it, I'll get the alert, and that will give me an indication to look further into the market in terms of where we are going. If I do then end up taking a trade, so I'll set my sell tool over there. 7 pips seems a little bit low, so I'm going to go for 10, and then I'm going to go for 1 to 2. So that's 20 pips over there, just shy of 20 pips. So that will be my trade on, what is it, GU this week, or not this week, but up until we get to those zones. Up until then, I'm really just going to monitor what is happening on these two trades. So on gold, generally when I'm in a gold trade, I don't like to over leverage myself and get into any other trades. However, if a good opportunity presents itself, that's exactly what I will do. I'll take it. So if this analysis plays out, if it does go to my level within the next day or so, I will definitely look at taking this GBP USD trade, and then I'll just obviously monitor my Euro USD trade once it does. Keep in mind as well that we now are close to that S2 level again. We didn't necessarily tap it, but we are close to it. So I'll be very interested to see what the market does here. What I will do now as well, I will set this trade to break even. I'm not sure if I said this in a previous video, but what I've come to find with this strategy specifically, when I am doing my analysis, when I'm setting my levels and the market does trade towards my levels and then bounce from there, what I generally find does happen is that the market tends to go to just over 1.1 and then it starts to retrace back to my entry or back to my break even point. From that point on, it then tends to bounce and then tends to take my full 1 to 2 take profit. So what I will do before I even go to break even on this trade, I'll reduce my risk in terms of my stop. So because my stop is at 13 pips at the moment, I will probably just reduce it to above that supply level over there, so like 5 pips, just to leave myself room at this break even point. Excuse me. Just to leave myself some room at this break even point, that if the market does retrace all the way, that there is an opportunity for it to bounce and go back down. If it does obviously break through there and go anything more than 5 pips, then I am on the wrong side of the market. So that's what I will plan to do on Euro USD. I'm just making the changes here to adjust it to 5 or 50 points on my MetaTrader, just so that I'm reducing my risk over there. So reducing my risk, we'll monitor this trade and see what happens. And then in terms of this pair, I don't think I've properly analyzed GJ at the moment. I noted from this morning when I was doing my analysis that the market does seem very choppy. So you'll see that I marked a level of demand over here. Well, I'm on the 5 minute. But that is a level that I'll feel comfortable taking the GU trade on, just because it so impulsively moved to the upside. However, I'm not saying that this level is invalid. I'm not saying that any of these levels are invalid either. It's just that it's very choppy for me. So where I want to take my high probability trades from is levels where I've actually seen a real impulsive move. So this could be a good level, but I'm not going to place a pending order. What I would probably do is set an alert close to that level to see if the market does retrace back to it, what the market then does at that particular level. So I'm sure I still got a few alerts left. Set an alert. If the market does come back to that level and reacts in a certain way, I could then potentially look for a trade to the upside of 1 to 2 on this pair. Like I said, between gold and GJ, two of my best instruments to trade at the moment. So this is one that I will be watching quite closely. This one I'll monitor, got an alert set, so I don't need to be in front of the charts constantly. Gold obviously in this trade, it's like I'm in a little bit of drawdown now at this point, but again, fairly comfortable with the stop that I've set on this trade as well. And like I said, I'm very bullish on gold at the moment. So I'll be monitoring this, and I will check you guys in the video tomorrow. If you would like to see me go live, please let me know. I might look at streaming live either on Thursday or Friday this week. I just need to look at my schedule before I do that. I've got a few things to do on the road this week, so it might mean that I'm only recording snippets from my either London or either New York session, but I'm not sure that I will be able to record from both. And also I want to reduce the amount of time that I am spending recording these videos. It doesn't take me all that much time, just me really sitting in front, turning on my camera and then recording my content. But let me know what you would have me do. If you want to see me trade live, if you want to ask any questions during those lives, please do let me know, and I will think about it. I'm not saying that, but I will think about it. And I'm hoping that I have a good week this week, for not only for my own sake, but for the sake of everyone else watching, and hoping that this is offering you guys some value as well, and hoping that we can take this trading and everyone else's trading to the moon, hopefully. So that's all from me in this video, guys. Please, if you're not subscribed, if this is your first time viewing this channel, please go to the bottom and subscribe to this channel. Give it a like and share it with anyone you think might be interested in trading as well. And up until the next video, which I'm planning and hoping to do tomorrow, I'll see you guys then. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below, and I'll check you in the next one. Let me just get the right screen. Peace, guys. Happy trading.
Broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly.